Small miracles. Hi, everybody. My name's Matt, Casey Rift. This is Whose Monster Is It Anyway? The show where you, the audience, help us build a monster in 1 hour with artist extraordinaire Phil Stone and our two fantastic contestants. This week we have Ash Pliskin. Is it Ash Pliskin? Is it all one word? Yeah? Ash Pliskin.
All one word.
And then Jeff Talanian joining us to put this critter together. We don't even know what we're going to do yet. I think we probably should reach out to the audience and see who we have watching first and how they want to go about putting this critter together. But before we do that, Ash, why don't you give us a rundown? Who are you and what brings you to the show?
Okay, I am a streamer, Star Wars obsessed rager, and a professional Xbox controller breaker. That's basically me in a nutshell.
Xbox
I just like to get angry.
Breaker. Got it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've punched two elite controllers to death. That's basically my claim to fame and biggest waste of money. Yeah, I love video games. I love Star Wars, and I tried to play D&D for years and years growing up, and every time I would try, the DM would leave before my first episode, before my first appearance. But I finally managed to get into my first campaign this year, and I do that every other Thursday, 5th edition, over on twitch.tv/neuro. I don't know if I can say that, but that's the other site that it's on.
Shameless plugs are welcome.
Shameless plugs all welcome. Day. Yeah, so I'm a basic bitch tiefling rogue assassin now. So,
what's the character's name?
Her name is Mendax.
Mendax, that's right. Yeah, I caught the show last week. It's really funny, really good show. Yeah. So that's who's your go-to Star Wars character? I know you've got a line for me.
Yeah, I mean, the line was like, I like to say that I'm an Obi-Wan because Obi-Wan is the most perfect Jedi to ever exist. But really, I'm more of a Mace Windu. I have a slightly closer connection to the dark side without ever going over. And he's pretty much the only person to ever been able to master that fine line. So yeah, I'm definitely more of a Mace Windu. But, gotcha. And then Ristal Sant, one of the dancers in Jabba's palace. Gotta love her. The one with the red hair.
Oh man, you are testing my Star Wars right now. So not the Twi'lek, the red-haired one. All right, I'll have to go look that up.
Yeah, everybody knows Ula. Everybody knows the Twi'lek dancer, but Ristal.
What was the little guy, the Salacious Crumb or whatever?
Salacious Crumb, yeah.
Salacious Crumb, yeah. So I think the funniest, I laugh at it.
That's my favorite Star Wars character.
We watched, my kids and I watched Mandalorian first episode the other day, and I chuckled to myself because they don't have the appreciation for old Salacious Crumb that I do, and they're roasting one of the whatever race he is. They're roasting one of them on a spit, like in the first opening scene of Mandalorian.
Good.
Just like, oh, hey, that guy. And then
that's just wrong.
They're like panning across. They've got the one on the spit, and the other one's in the cage. Like, ah. Yeah, Salacious Crumb. Okay, thanks, Jeff. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Let's talk about Hyperborea.
Sure. So my name's Jeff Talanian, and I'm the creator of a role-playing game called Astonishing Swordsmen and Sorcerers of Hyperborea. It's kind of a game, a tabletop role-playing game that is inspired by the fiction of authors such as Robert E. Howard, H.P. Lovecraft, and Clark Ashton Smith. Mechanics-wise, it's inspired by the traditional type of style as created by Gary Gygax and Dave Arneson, so it sort of harkens back to that type of play style.
Sure.
So I did not start playing D&D this year. I actually started around about 40 years ago. So right. I've been playing for a long time. I started playing. I was in the 5th grade, and one of my classmates brought this cool game to school, and we played during some type of break during school. And then the adventures continued at his house after school. And so I got hooked right then and there. I started with the Holmes Basic box set, which my parents ordered for me from the Sears catalog. And
oh wow, is that right?
So then with my paper route money, I saved up and bought a Dungeon Master's Guide. So I was using a Dungeon Master's Guide and a Holmes Basics set as how I ran the game, and there was no one to tell me that I was doing it wrong, and we were just making things up as we went along. It's funny because watching Stranger Things with my kids and stuff like that, it really does like remind me of like how we used to play back then, and it was just like we had the lead figures, and it was so much of it was theater of the mind though, and it was so competitive. So so that's my story.
Paper.
So
grid paper. I used a crap ton of grid paper.
Oh yeah. My mother worked for a company. She used to get these big easels and easel stands. So I used to use the big squared easel paper to create my maps. When I was a kid, that was a lot of fun. It was like graph paper on steroids.
Oh, that is awesome.
So that's my story.
We were just talking about this earlier. I came in Redbox with the Redbox. So I'm not quite.
Oh, nice.
I didn't quite have access to some of the older stuff. My uncle gave it to me for my birthday, of all things. And then growing up in Kansas, I was definitely afflicted by the satanic, like the, oh my God, what are you doing? What are you letting that kid play?
Right.
Type environment. So I didn't have anybody to. What's that?
Do you think that was more of a Midwest thing? Because I really didn't see it in the New England area where I was growing up. It was like something that we laughed at on the news.
Yeah. I think it might have been, because if you talk to like some of the other guys that Danny Grimes, for example, or some of the Jimmy Duffy, they didn't have that same experience. But I think it may have been just a Midwest type environment.
Yeah.
Grew up in Ohio. Can't confirm.
Is that right?
It's like it basically turned you guys into like the children of the corn, huh?
Yeah, it must. Yeah, exactly. You don't want me to do what? Okay, let me roll the dice. Give me the dice. Phil, how the heck are you?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, doing great. Semester's over, I saw, huh?
Yeah, I got straight A's today.
Fantastic. How'd that end up working? Did they end up doing online for the rest of the semester, or just say, okay, whatever your grade was when we abandoned ship, or how'd that work?
No, they kind of did a makeshift. Let's do art online through through email.
Mm-hmm.
So it was basically, we just drew pictures, made them into PDFs, and he was like, "Look, you're just gonna get an A." So as long as you sent something in, you were. My astronomy class was a little different, but
Mm-hmm. Oh, speaking of astronomy, did any of you guys get to see the meteor shower? Last weekend? I think it was last weekend. Did you get to anybody see that at all? Yeah.
I didn't even know that there was one happening.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't. Well, I mean, you don't see anything else on the news besides COVID anyway. But I don't know how my wife came across it, but we went out and watched a little bit. It was pretty interesting. We saw a couple of really big shooting stars. Yeah, it was neat. Astronomy took me that direction. Sorry.
I usually try to catch the Perseids, which is like, I don't know, it's at the end of the summer or something like that, or the middle of the summer.
Is that, and that's viewable in North America?
Yeah, it's usually the most, it's the most widely seen one, I believe. I don't know, this.
Okay.
Someone that knows more than I do about it, I'm sure. Watching.
Right. We are here to build a critter, and I'm going to start this show off with some free packs. So if you're watching right now, there are 5 free packs available of our Streamloop cards. You can use those to help our contestants build this creature. And I'd also like to ask, while we're out there, what are we going to do tonight? So you, the audience, can start this show off right by telling us what type of creature we're going to make, as in, is it going to be aberration, a beast, an undead, that sort of thing? Is it going to have 2 legs, 4 legs, 6 legs? Is it going to be small? We got a New Zealander watching. Greetings.
What?
Yeah. What is it like? It's got to be 9 in the morning there. How far behind are they?
It's tomorrow.
Yeah, it's
They're
tomorrow.
ahead.
You're right.
They're
Other
talking to the
direction.
future. Yeah.
They're
Hello,
so
in
far
the future.
behind. They're in.
Is there still Corona? 5 free packs. 5 free packs. If you're interested in grabbing some and playing some of those cards, you can help influence the show. And what size? How about let's start with size. You guys and the contestants can feel free to chime in on this as well. But do we want to do a tiny, small, medium, large, huge? Any thoughts, Ash?
What do you think, Ash?
I don't know. We were talking. I mean, the salacious crumb talk now has me thinking of something small.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Small and diabolical.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tiny and powerful.
Okay.
All right.
But
We
of
got
course,
small,
size matters, so we could also just go big.
big salacious crumb, like a huge salacious crumb. Got it. Start drawing, Phil. All
What's
right.
that?
Yeah. Good luck, Phil. It could be big. It could be really small.
I had $1.
Our monster's really big in the metric system.
It's Canadian, damn it. We go by centimeters.
All right. So we got one vote for small. Anybody in chat have a different or substantiating vote? How about type? What type of creature? So we've got the 10 D&D types typically. So we've got got another vote for small in chat. We've got aberrations, beasts, celestials, fiends, fae, undead, aberration. I don't know, Raventhon. We've done a lot of aberrations. What are Jeff? What do you think? What type of beast are we looking at? What type of monster?
Well, okay. If we're gonna, are we sticking with small?
We don't have to. If I feel like if you're really feeling something, it's going to be larger. I mean, unless chat is all up in this.
Well, how about
small.
if it's small and it has some type of transformative power that can make it become large?
Oh. Maybe if you have something has to rub it a certain way, and then boom, big.
And a big
Giggity, says Caveman Jack.
It's Phil taking this the wrong way.
I do have a vote for Fae. Let's see, 1 Fae, 1 Fiend, 1 vote for Aberration. Everybody's saying small though, so I think we're good on small. How about?
By the way, I see that our friend from New Zealand, I'm looking at the chat, is Mr. John Bingham, who is one of the artists for my game. So,
is that right?
He actually
Hello,
illustrated the shirt that I'm wearing tonight.
Look at that. That's fantastic. Well, welcome, John.
Fantastic artist, John Bingham. He's adventure writer as well. Great to have you here.
Fantastic. Welcome. Yeah, thank you very much for showing up. Okay, so small, fiend, aberration, or fae. Any particular choice?
How about, well, if we're going to go with the salacious crumb type of theme here, how about if it's something demonic?
Okay, we haven't done a lot of demon type critters. We've done a lot of aberrations, right, Phil? We've done a lot of aberrations, couple constructs. Haven't done. We've done well. We did Luke's. Luke's was a what we decided that was a demon, I think, or devil.
Of course.
Let's here. I gotta. We're right. We did the Gax Fiend with Luke's. I'm going to open up a poll real quick. So put in your vote. So vote right there. Exclamation point vote, and then aberration, construct, elemental, fae, giant, humanoid, monstrosity, plant, undead, or beast. Put those votes in now. Leave it open for a minute or so. Okay. I do like the idea of a small fiend. Of course, immediately go to Salacious Crumb. I mean, he could easily have been like an imp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just needed the stinger tail, right? Oh, we got... Okay, this is looking pretty good for Fae. 2 votes for Faye.
All right.
So let's start talking about like 2 legs. Are we going with that type? 2 legs, 4 legs, 6 legs, centipede legs?
Oh God.
Millipede.
Millipede Faye. Oh my gosh, that's
oh my
terrifying
God,
just to
that
even think
seems
about.
terrifying. A millipede Faye.
Legs for days.
Sounds wrong.
The more legs, the better. System. All right. We got 1 vote for monstrosity.
And Phil has
2
to draw
votes.
every one of those legs.
I got it. I'm on it.
With 1 leg. 1 leg. We've got to vote for 1 leg.
With 7
one-legged millipede.
joint. A one-legged
millipede.
Sounds like a
You're
misnomer.
losing quicker than a one-legged millipede in an ass-kicking contest.
All right, I'm going to close the poll. We are going to go with a Faye. We're going to go with a Faye tonight. I'm going to open this up for the monster profile. Let's see, complete. And let's see, for monster profile. That's also open now. If you would like, just put in 1 leg. I don't actually have an option. Actually, I suppose I can probably do that.
Yeah.
No legs, 2 legs, 4 legs, or more legs. So we got to vote for 3 legs. I think we had 2 votes for 1 leg.
Wait, a one-legged millipede? Are we really doing that?
All right.
If you can figure that out, then you are more than welcome. Uh-oh, somebody's got a card. So that is a good point. If you have a card, that trumps all the votes. So if you play the card first and it's for 4 legs, then that's what we're going with.
All right. 4 legs.
If it gets played. Somebody mentioned they have one for 4 legs.
Okay, yeah.
They've threatened to play it, but I haven't seen it yet. 1 leg, more
He's just
legs.
sitting there
No
fanning
legs.
himself with a 4-leg card. Any day I could throw this down.
All right, if you're going to play that card, play it. Otherwise, we're going to go with no legs is the winning vote right now. Wait, hold on. 1 vote for...
You do that with me. Oh my God. Is this Faye gonna it's gonna be like Eddie Murphy from Trading Spaces or whatever?
Okay.
Trading Places? Just
Trading
wheeling
Places,
himself
yeah, he was on the
around.
cart.
Trading Places.
Yeah. He was trying to fool people.
This is gonna be the easiest monster to defeat ever. Just like push it over.
Okay, I'm going to close out the poll in 10 seconds. We've got 2 votes for no legs. We have no card played. We have 1 vote for 1 leg. So a tripod monster. Mr. Bingham says tripod monster.
Sounds more like R2D2 now.
Yeah. Or is that 2 legs plus an extension? Just asking.
Oh, there it goes.
Is it a 3rd leg or is it a 3rd leg?
All right, so we've got...
Again, if I had $1, I'd have $2.
All right, I'm closing out the poll. However, we did have a card played, which is going to be 4-legged monster. The threat was real, folks. So we are going with a 4-legged small Fae. 4-legged small Fae. What does this thing look like, Jeff?
Would we like to give it some wings?
I feel
Wings?
like,
I
yeah.
like wings.
Yeah. And a long... Well, okay, so if it's Fae, but if we're still thinking on the Salacious Crumb type of theme here, so would it be sort of like an unseelie type of Fae? Is that what we're thinking?
Seems like that would be appropriate.
Yeah.
So some sort of unseelie winged 4-legged Fae.
Sure, with
You
a
know,
long
one of
barbed
those.
tail.
Ooh, long barbed tail. All right.
Oh, I like the barbed tail. Yeah.
Yeah. What do the thing about is particularly unseelie Fae, like they can be really fucked up looking. I mean, you can sag
what kind of
faces, and I mean hags, unseelie. So the evil Fae. Sounds like you're fighting my ex-wife. Well, I've never met her.
Oh, no.
So we just had a give a compliment to Phil card played, and it said, "Good luck, Phil." All right, so we
hit
got a four-legged. So let's talk. Last week we did four hands. The creature didn't have any legs at all, but we did. So it was walking on two hands, and then it had another two hands that were coming up from its mid torso. So let's not repeat that. But I think we can do what kind of form is this? If it's a four-legged critter with wings, is it a manticore type form, or is it a cat, dog, or is it a long legs and short arms, or little T-Rex?
What do you think on that one, Ash?
I feel like two of the legs I'm picturing maybe smaller or shriveled. Maybe they're just, what is it called when somebody has
T-Rex alligator?
Yeah, they're like little vestigial legs that just kind of they used to be a four-legged creature, and evolution hasn't really caught up to it yet, so it hasn't knocked them all the way out, but they're just there.
There you go. So it's carrying its two of its four legs are behind it like a little seal or something. It just claps them together behind it.
It just claps without using hands. Yeah, if it shakes hard enough, you can clap those two heels together.
Can't pay the bill at the restaurant.
Oh boy. All right. How about face? So we talked about wings. What kind of face does this thing have? Is it humanoid? Is it? What do we think?
Did any of you guys ever see the movie Legend with Tom Cruise?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, it's been a while, but yeah.
So do you remember the goblins in that movie? I'm picturing that nose kind of like that nose that just kind of squiggles and keeps going forward.
Oh,
like
nice. Oh, that is a obscure reference, but yeah, absolutely. So this thing maybe all of its arms or all of its legs are useless, and it's just pulling itself along on its nose.
With its is it just hooking it into the ground and pulling itself? I've seen these tracks before. It's just a dot and a big fucking rectangle in the dirt behind it. We know what this monster is.
It probably mostly ambulates with its wings, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I like the wings. I think the wings are a good choice. Wings are always a good choice. I know. Except now I am going to end up having nightmares tonight about a one-legged millipede monster.
It only has one leg, and then it's where are the other 999?
Yeah, what happened? I want to know that story. What have you been through, man?
It lost. That's what happened.
Seen some things.
I was just about to say that, Jack. I think it's just called a pede at that point. You should see the other millipede. It's just called a worm. They just did battle, leg for leg. The last millipede with one leg standing wins.
It's like playing a game
Just
war with cards.
Just a nose like a parsnip. All right, so we've got some wings of multi-dimensional
What the fuck
ether.
is a parsnip?
You know, like a white radish.
Like a salad?
Yeah, rabbits eat them. Rabbits love that stuff.
Shit, I got 6 tabs open right now.
I don't know. I like where you're going right now so far. It looks just exactly like we're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I don't think it could look wrong.
A carrot.
Not a carrot, a parsnip.
Yeah.
More
A
bulbous.
carrot nose?
Like
A
more
carrot.
bulbous. Parsnip man, like on Stardew. What? What is?
Oh my God, Stardew Valley.
As if that, yeah.
I gotta look
That's
that up
pretty
now.
That's pretty good. All right. That's good. So I think, yeah, anything like vegetation wise, will give it that fey-like feel. That's good. A nose like one of those star-nosed moles. Oh, that's, yeah. Ooh, that's not bad.
Oh yeah.
So what if it could?
That's a good idea.
Its little parsnip could do this number, like an alien.
You can pick up stuff
We're
with his
putting you
nose.
to the test.
His nose. That's how it pulls itself along. It's got a grip.
Right. So what is this? So what is your what's the vision in your head like right now? What does it look like? What's coming to mind? Are we still going with kind of the Salacious Crumb backdrop?
I don't know. I feel like
I think it's evolved. I think that was
Yeah,
our starting point, but it's
Well, that never
gone
happens,
in a
does it, Phil?
completely different direction.
that
No.
was its starting form. It's since elevated itself.
This is the
Does it
this
have
is the,
eyebrows?
Pokemon evolution of Salacious Crumb. All right. It's got the star-nosed mole at the end of the parsnip. So good luck with that, with all that.
That would be fun.
What's this thing do? We haven't even started that part.
Oh yeah, that's gonna
What are
be
we
the next
calling this
question.
thing,
there.
folks? What are we
It
calling
works
this
in its
thing?
parents' grocery.
Fucked up.
Yeah, I think that goes with that same. We'll do that with a PH. PH
Salad
UK.
face.
I'm
You
thinking
could call
that
it
it like
PHUK, and then it's Puck like a fairy, like the fairy king
Oh,
from Shakespeare.
yeah.
Touche.
I was thinking in those same sort of along those same sort of lines. I was thinking that like it has the power to annoy, and it'll annoy you to the point where you go mad.
Oh, I like that.
It just badgers you, hurling insults constantly.
All right, so this is a Fae. I won't even classify it humanoid.
Immune to
Alignment?
COVID.
Immune. Yeah, because it just licks it up with its little star mole thing.
Yeah, that thing
alignment,
neutralizes everything.
Evil? Is this a neutral evil fella? Neutral evil? I'm talking.
What do you think on that one, Ash?
I don't know if he's gonna annoy people as its thing. I feel like it has to be more chaotic almost, right?
Yeah.
Chaotic neutral? Or is it chaotic evil just straight up the worst of the worst? I like chaotic neutral, like you just don't know what the hell this thing's gonna do.
One day it might be nice to you.
antennas. That's good.
Yeah.
Yep. Alright.
First of all, there's no such thing as a bad dad joke. Okay, let's make that very clear. Dad jokes are amazing. They are the highest form of comedy.
You're
I
my
will not
hero
hear
right
anything
now.
different.
Yep.
I love dad jokes. It's one of the only I have very few subreddits that I check on a regular basis, but dad jokes is one of them.
Nice. I really love the way you're going. This is fantastic. Can you put one of those star-shaped things? So I like how it's the parsnips coming out of the star, the mole thing. Can you make one of them coming up like out of the top? Right there, right there between its eyes. So you got the like almost mustache star bit coming out. Yeah, those guys. Yeah, right there.
You want another carrot there?
No. The tendrils, the mole thing.
Oh.
Okay.
Like
folks.
the.
No, not
It
that.
looks so good.
You've got the guy's mustache right between its parsnip. The parsnip's right between its little mustache thing, right?
Yeah.
We're calling that the mole star.
All right.
Just make one come up straight between its eyes, like up.
Like if
Yeah.
like when the alien eggs open,
There, yeah.
they have like the four little. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
All right. So what is this guy immune to? Does he have any immunities? COVID. All right, we said COVID.
But yeah, immune to COVID.
How many any vulnerabilities? Cold iron, right? He's Fey. How about immunities? Any immunities? What does this guy do? I think we should probably start with that for special abilities. Like, what does he do? He's annoying. Is that what we talked about? I heard annoying earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can drive one mad. Some kind of saving throw to go insane.
Okay.
If he has a chance to talk to you for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, if you're within earshot of him, you got to do a saving throw.
Okay. So the trick is to not listen to him.
Mm-hmm. Hideous laughter. Oh God.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
I mean, that's very Salacious Crumb. That.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he. Is that something that is like an aura effect on him? Like you just want to laugh when you see him, or is it something that he does? Like, is the insanity thing an action, or is it just something that happens when? This is awesome, Phil. You are pulling little threads of nothing out of this conversation and making it into something kick-ass. This is great.
Yeah. So maybe his laughter inspires you to laugh unless you make a saving throw, and so you go into sort of the Tasha's uncontrollable hideous laughter.
Got it. Yeah. What do we want to call that? So this guy's name is Phuk. Phuk. Phuk.
Fuck.
With an apostrophe N.
Yeah,
it looks like he could use a little bit of that miracle cream that takes the bags out from under your eyes. You know.
Yeah, right. You just need to tighten that up just
yeah. What do they use in the beauty pageants? Hemorrhoid cream.
Yes, preparation.
Yeah. Put some
Just
prep
their
H
eyes?
under those eyes.
Serious?
Here's
Come
a
on,
funny story about
Puck.
that.
It's like you're not even trying, Puck.
Phuk.
Puck.
I did
God.
4 years of New York Fashion Week, and we used to actually use that.
Yeah, because it tightens the skin or whatever, right?
Yeah.
It gets all that.
It was
I
pretty
watched
funny.
Miss Congeniality like 7 times. I remember that.
All right, this guy's got.
So Caveman Jack is suggesting some tricks. So maybe he does something like that. I was kind of thinking along the lines of like if he did something, like if he had tricks that he did, that maybe they could be sort of like some of the old school cantrips. So he can do something that makes you either cough or sneeze or something like that, or something that just irritates you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like it, and maybe something that would ultimately like described by the game master, the dungeon master, but ultimately it just like makes you lose your action or something to that effect if you fail your save.
Can he make you face palm violently? And so whatever you have in your hand is what you're hitting yourself with?
Ah.
That would certainly make you lose your action. Face palm. So, all right.
Can he be a familiar?
I like that a lot. I like that idea. So this creature's small, by the way. I forgot to put that in there. Small fey. Preparation H, grease attack. Well, that is something. Yeah, untie shoes. I like that.
That would be something.
Preparation H, mist spray.
Just dashes.
It's his musk.
Is that you did preparation H?
All right, I like the ultimately like the effect of illusions. I like the laughter aspect. Although I think that's just going to turn. We're just going to call that pranks in general, and that's going to be. Is there hideous laughter? Because we want it to be a little bit more descriptive than just laughing, but I think that ultimately gets us.
So yeah, so I was thinking like it's a power that's invoked when he laughs. So when he starts laughing, those who hear it, then they're compelled to laugh as well, unless they make their saving throw.
Pucking, we call that pucking laughter. Pucking laughter. What are we?
Pucking funny.
Pucking funny. That is awesome. When he. Oh. Pucking.
I love this parsnip nose.
I like that little mole at the end of it.
Yeah. He might want to get that checked out.
Maybe that mole helps him to find magnetic north at any time.
Oh, that's great.
Where has that parsnip been? Mm-mm-mm.
It could tell stories.
If parsnips could talk.
Put a GoPro on it.
Oh my God.
I was nerding out. I love historical documentaries, and I was watching one about the old harems in the Palace of the Sultan, and they said that legend has it that cucumbers were forbidden from entering the harem for that exact reason.
Is that right?
Entering the harem.
Yeah, you couldn't. No cucumbers in the harem. No solid cukes in this harem.
Huh.
Have fucking
I've
babies
not heard
coming
that
out looking
one.
like Piccolo and shit. They'll know where that baby came from.
Maybe the Sultan didn't want to get shown up.
There's no rulers, no units of measurement allowed in the harem. Trust me, it's the biggest.
Would you
Ask
say
my
half a
eunuch.
Cucumber? Ask my eunuch. Cannot help but laugh along with the puck. Target must succeed a wisdom saving throw or fall prone, becoming incapacitated, unable to stand for the duration. While laughing.
This guy looks like he'd be great at parties.
Oh yeah,
For more than one reason.
he looks like
Masquerades.
he'd be ready to throw down too in the middle of like a bar fight. He'd probably be the one causing the bar fight, to be honest. Okay, he's already flexing. Bam.
Cucumber competition to the king. Yes. Reproductive nose. Well, maybe.
Maybe. Could
All
be
right,
a
what
ploy.
do pranks do? So, what kind of pranks does this critter inflict upon on its victims?
He tells women that his nose is reproductive.
He tells them that it's
Maybe he has
not,
some, like-
and then they find out
Right.
later.
It tells them it's not.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Told you to
What a
wrap that
good one.
carrot up.
Put that vegetable in the bag.
Yeah,
All right.
I know what I'm downloading tonight.
I don't even know. What does this guy do? Does this guy have any attacks? Does this guy attack, or is he just funny? Is this his illusion magic? Let's see.
I don't
here.
know.
Let's see. Illusion spells 5th edition. I think pranks can probably prestidigitation, like minor illusion at will, probably. In may use minor illusion.
I don't
at
see him as much of
will.
a straight combat type.
Yeah.
Right, that's kind of where I'm at too. I don't. Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's small with 4 useless limbs. Why would you say that?
Vestigial legs.
With little seal flappers for his.
If
What
that
is this
doesn't,
guy- Strike fear. If that doesn't strike fear in the hearts of
Right?
all adventurers, what is this guy? What's his ecology? What does he do? Well, let's start with that. Where does he come? What's he aside from confusing people with his parsnip?
Where does he come from? Or what does he do?
Yeah, what does he do? What's his ecology? What's a little bit of his background? Maybe we can go off that. He has a tickle attack if you're prone. That's
If
good.
you're
I like
prone.
that.
Okay, that's really funny. That's what the oh my god, please don't say he's gonna tickle him with this parsnip.
Yeah.
Well, why not?
Ready for the parsnip tickle.
Okay, wait. Do we still say that?
You know,
Do we
maybe
still
he's born from the nightmares of children, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You know, like the wicked old grandmothers tell them stories about this guy, and then they have nightmares about him, and it gives them reality.
What is it? What are the nightmares, or what are the grandma stories? Like, what does it do? Comes in and if you don't eat your vegetables, like something like that.
Yeah, you don't go to bed on time. He's gonna crawl in through your window. Yeah, if you don't eat your parsnips.
What if it's something like it's like children's imaginary friends that have been pissed off because they've been forgotten and they become twisted.
Oh, that is dope.
That's a good one.
That. Jaded, forgotten, or jaded. Jaded imaginary friends.
Yeah, the old rag doll left behind.
Exactly. But in this case,
great.
it's
like
the old star mold parsnip tipped ragdoll left behind. Vestigial.
It's the Velveteen Rabbit, not bad.
Right?
Velveteen Rabbit. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I like that a lot. That's really good.
Oh my god, the tickle attack if you're prone. That's just... I'm just picturing that in my head now. Like, trying to play through that in a campaign and just starting laughing because it's so ridiculous, but at the same time you would be laughing anyway because it's a tickle attack. It's kind of perfect.
Right. Alright, so these are jaded imaginary friends who have lost their children, playmates.
Here comes the parsnip tickle. That was my nickname in prison, actually. Parsnip tickle.
Jesus. All right.
I called you PT.
Mhm.
It was PT.
Yep, who's ready for PT?
Close up your armpits, you'll get them.
Wrong.
If let's see, mechanically, that's going to be something like a grapple. Like if a target is prone, the Phuk can automatically grapple a target. Gains advantage on grapple. How about that? Gains advantage.
Laugh hard enough to take damage, like you laugh so hard it like tears your ab muscles. Ow.
Ooh, yeah, that's good. I like that. Mm-hmm.
The gut splitter.
Oh, that's a good name for it.
Gut splitter. Ooh, yep. Gut splitter. If a target is grappled by the Phuk.
Oh my! At first, I was like, "Man, this would be kind of fun to come across this one in a campaign." But now, with once you have the gut splitter, I'm like, I don't want to see this guy in a campaign. He's getting scarier.
2d6. Let's see, 3.5. That's
the pickle tickle. Give the wife the old pickle tickle. The old 23 skidoo.
What is that? This is psychic. This is bludgeoning. Bludgeoning damage? Sure. Unspecified damage. Gray damage. Let's see. Gut splitter. Each target is grappled by the Phuk. They take 7 bludgeoning damage.
I'm thinking that he's really hard to hit armor class wise, but if you do hit him, he's pretty easily killed.
That makes sense.
So low hit points, but high High AC. Okay, yeah. I think that's probably, this guy's probably preying on like normal people, not really the combat encounter that you would expect like a 5th level party to run into anyway. So that's good. I like that. 7 2d6.
And that makes sense too because he's imaginary. It's like you have to build up to believing in him, but then once you do, it's probably easy to kill him. That makes sense.
Every round they are grappled. Good. Okay, we got that. So I wonder if displacement be too much? Like a displacement type effect? Way where the cloak is standing in place near your location. Yeah, you could do that. I think you just say it doesn't have to be displacement per se, but just creatures have disadvantage attacking it for whatever reason. Like it's
Maybe it has a
funny.
blink power when it's being attacked.
Yeah, something like
Short
that.
range blinks.
Mm-hmm.
Preparation H on his skin just makes him slippery. Is that what you're saying? Caveman Jack, he's just Vaselined up. Makes him hard to grab.
It's nothing magical. It's nothing.
You don't want to
magical.
wrestle with them.
Jack is just like, yeah, it's just.
It's a weird thing. It just travels around with its own children's tub full of, cherry flavored Jello. I don't know, but it's just hard to grab him out of there.
It's a greased up nightmare. That's what my second ex-wife used to call it. Oh, she was a hoot.
Wow.
All right, hard to hit. We'll figure out another name for that here in a little bit, but basically, creatures who
Hard to
are
handle,
not
like the
immune-
black
hard to
crows.
There you go.
Hard to handle now. Yep, there you go. That's good. Hard to not immune to illusions are suffer disadvantage when attacking. Yeah, that's pretty good. And I think you give him like probably super high dex, maybe like a. Oh, we're going all out with the wings. Are those the wings? Nice.
Yeah.
Wings are awesome.
Nice.
So he's got a really shitty movement on the ground, but he's speed 15 foot, but
He can
flying.
come in for them swooping tickle attacks.
It just brushes your neck. Flying 30 feet. All right. I like that. So 22 dex would be, that's pretty good AC, I think. Give him a 16 AC with natural armor. That's really good. Plus you're at disadvantage to hit him. Hit points wise though, he's going to be pretty mediocre. This is the alter ego of the Tricks Rabbit.
Oh, it totally is. Silly adventurers.
Silly adventurers. Allow me to gut split you. Alright, so small creature is going to be d6s. We'll do even 10 d6 is going to be super squishy. What?
Oh, so it's trying to shove the cereal down kid's throat. Caveman Jack. Just eat my
Why didn't you eat my
cereal, kids. Open your mouth, you ungrateful shit.
It's pure cane sugar. It's good for you.
It says right on it.
It's fortified.
Yeah, right. This should, yeah, it's like a combination claws and feathers since he's Fey. That'll be pretty awesome. Yeah, this guy turned out awesome.
Looks so good.
All right, so he's got a...
Yeah, he can use those claws to like hook onto your backpack and take a ride with you for miles and miles.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, you don't even know he's there. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's really good. Does he have some kind of like area effect then, where he doesn't have to be in combat, but he's annoying, so he just increases irritability of travelers or something if he does that?
He just sits there invisibly, but he just makes everybody irritated.
Mm-hmm.
All right, King Bashman gave this guy another D4 hit points. Do either one of you have a 4-sider in front of you? 4-sided die.
Oh, I do.
I do not.
I got one. All right. Got a 1.
1. There you go.
What
1
are the
extra hit
odds?
point, so it has 36.
Sorry, man. It was my shit die. Looks pretty though. Rolls for shit. That
All
one
right.
is gonna count. It will.
That 1 will count. You watch. Yep, it'll count.
Mm-hmm.
What? This guy got 60 foot dark vision. Anything else? Like anything fancy on its senses? Can it sense illusions or sense weak wills or something?
Maybe senses the presence of other Fae in its vicinity.
Oh, detect other Fae. Yeah, that's good.
That knows when there's a rival.
All right, I like that. Yeah. Sense Fae. Got it.
I like that. It makes me picture like 2 of them battling it out, sharks
This
and
is my
jet style.
territory. Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm riding on this guy's backpack.
There's only room for one of us here.
I'm gonna irritate this guy, not you.
Naturally invisible.
Senses any Debbie Downers in the party and prioritizes them as targets. Wah, wah.
Preying on their weaknesses.
Yeah, and then the rest of the party members won't realize that something's happening because the person is already a Debbie Downer, so they'll just think that they're being themselves, but really, they're being influenced.
Nice. You know, that actually works better against the actual player and not the character, because you have those players in your group that are more annoyed by things than other players. So,
Oh,
so
so the DM would have to just pick which one.
pick which player is most
Yeah.
likely to be aggravated by the whole idea of it.
It's a Karen killer.
God damn it. Oh yeah, Karen would just be pissed the whole time. Karen will flip the table. You better not have any nice naps or anything out, because Karen's flipping the table before she leaves.
All right, and then yeah, we'll come up with some actions. But this guy is by no means the going to be attacking a party straight out. But I did put naturally invisible, so it can do the backpack thing. It can just sit on somebody's backpack and. But I think that we need some sort of radius ability. Like, what is its heals damage from laughter? I like that. King Bashman says heals damage from laughter. Like heals damage.
What does that mean? That he's got to tickle the
Like
guy
when he-
that's damaged, make
Yeah,
them laugh,
well, no,
and then they get killed?
I think what he's getting at is like if he's making somebody laugh, he is healed by it. Like he gets regeneration from that, maybe. Which I like.
Yeah, so
like that.
Yeah. So that would behoove him to make the tickle attacks then on the weakest person if he's wounded, because then he gets to heal from that weakest person's laughter. Well, oh no, it'd have to be the strongest person. I'm just thinking strategically.
Can you? This would be great. Like this would be funny. Just the DM passes a note to the player and like, okay, you really find everything funny. You need to laugh as much as you can in this game, and everybody's like, what is up with Karen? Why is Karen laughing
jovial.
so much this time? All the while the puck is feeding off of. Okay, I like that. Feed off of What's a good feed off? Funny feed off. frivolity. We'll use that for now. That's great. Bill, this is fantastic, man.
This is looking so good. King, are you waving the dex card in front of you right now again?
Uh-oh. I already gave it a 22 dex. I already gave it a super high dex, assuming it's going to be flying around. Got somebody waving around one of the
I could tell.
Huh? Yeah. All right, this guy missing anything? So we got. I'll figure out mechanically what feed off frivolity does, but essentially it's he'll. Hit points doesn't make a whole lot of sense because I mean we're gonna assume this guy's not gonna be damaged.
Yeah.
So I mean it would probably be something like, I don't know, gain. I mean mechanically hit points make sense, but there's no reason that it should come in to like regenerate off of some creature because it's not just gonna be walking around hurt.
Right.
We need something else that's not damage. What else could it regenerate, or what else could it? What else could it gain from laughter? Last ability
Size.
before we wrap up. Size.
Oh, that could be the transformative.
Hey,
Yeah.
full circle back to
And
Jeff,
it's the
so-
opposite of what we were making jokes about, because usually when you laugh at it, it doesn't get bigger. But this time when you do, it does.
Okay, actually,
Yep.
I think that's pretty reasonable. You got it's is it permanent or temporary? Like, does it?
It's
It
temporary.
only lasts 4 hours.
I should not. Have
If it
said
lasts
that.
any longer
Sorry,
than
that
4
was not
hours, he needs
the
to consult
direction I wanted that
his
to
local alchemist.
That is not what I meant. But all
If
right.
it lasts more than 4 hours, oh,
In big
dude.
Okay. For every 4 hours? For every 4 hours. This creature feeds off the Oh, that's what I already got that. Feed off frivolity. All right.
Yep.
Feed off frivolity. There we go. Every 4 hours, the creature feeds off the laughter of another. It gains temporarily. Gains one size category.
Creature gets swole.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Gigantor girth ability go. Yeah.
Would that be called the girthy giggles?
He giggles.
Fucking
Gotta
love
have
it.
it.
I get a little bit of a dark crystal vibe from it too.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yep, I agree. This is very dark
Skeksis.
crystal. That's good. All right, where are we? We're 1 minute from the hour, so we have the Phuk with the heavy H, the armor class of 16, 36 hit points. So not a real combatant, dangerous, not dangerful, dangerous combatant at all, but certainly difficult to hit with its hard to handle ability, with making it anybody not immune to illusions suffer disadvantage to even strike at the thing. It's naturally invisible, further increasing its defenses, but it likes to hang around parties or individuals who seem to be lacking in some sort of mirth. feel like they need a little pick me up. So it'll hang around those individuals for an extended period of time, leeching off of their
cup of coffee.
Like a cup of coffee, forcing them to be more jovial and laugh, and then it feeds off that, growing in size over time as it feeds off of those individuals. I haven't worked on actions yet. I don't think this guy is much of a combat critter at all, so we won't really worry too much about its combat actions. But I think this is great. This is a fantastic Fae. I think. Oh, and one more D4 hit points before we close out. It gets a one more D4 from King Bashman.
All right, I'm using the good one this time.
Okay.
And it's a 2. We doubled the last roll, okay?
Dude, 100%.
And yet so average.
You're welcome.
That is 100%. That's 100% better than last time. 38 hit points. Jeff, Ash, thank you very much for being on. This is
Thank you for having us.
this is great. Yeah, this is a fantastic critter, and definitely steered clear of what we've been kind of going down that aberration. A lot of tentacles over the last couple of shows, so this is great to get into the Fae realm. This is really cool. I can't wait to see the inks on this one. Phil, fantastic job as usual.
Thank you.
Great job, Phil.
Beautiful, Phil.
Any parting shots from our contestants? Ash,
oh no!
Famous last words. Jeff, looking forward to seeing your game or seeing you on the stream tomorrow and your game on
looking
Saturday.
forward to. Yeah, so
Ash,
Kobold Con this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a bunch of great events lined up for Kobold Con. I'm sure you have the full list, but for my own events, I have one tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern time. Mountain time. Yeah. Mountain time is a completely different animal. And we're doing a small publishing panel. And then on Saturday morning, I'm running a Hyperborea game. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it.
Which is full, right? There's full seats. I think that filled up pretty much right after you posted it, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We're going to have run first level adventure.
And then,
it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Did you get the invite for Saturday night I think that's going to be 10 o'clock?
I did. Now, so
time,
for my local time, that starts at 11 p.m.
Yeah.
So I'll try to see if I can pull it off.
Yeah.
But
see if you can pull it off. Yep, we'll be there. Yeah. That's all these dang time zones. That's the I think that is the one downside to a virtual convention is that we've got people from New Zealand, we've got people in Australia, we've got people I've got a guy in Ireland running a game. It's going to be great, but trying to figure out all those time zones has definitely been a challenge.
Right.
And then
normally
Ash,
you switch. Normally when you go to a con and you're in a different time zone, you feel the pain when you go back home, but you deal with it while you're there and you adjust.
While you're there, yeah. Yep, absolutely. And then Ash got a game for KoboldCon on Sunday with the great GM.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of England, he's going to be streaming that game from. Guy Sklander's going to be streaming that game from the British Isles Sunday morning, so that'll be a fun one to be in as well, and look out for it. And then Luke Gygax is going to conclude our events on Sunday with his social hour starting at noon on Mountain Time. So it's going to be a good weekend.
Nice.
Phil, thank you very much again. This is outstanding
Thank
work
you.
as ever. And I think with that, audience, thank you very much for your participation, and we will sign off. Have a great night.
Bye.
Bye.